For more than 2,000 years, the wind has whispered a secret across the golden sands of Egypt, a secret so powerful, so dangerous, that it has haunted historians, treasure hunters, and kings alike. It is the secret of a queen, a woman whose very name still casts a spell, Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, a ruler who seduced empires, defied the greatest military power of her time, and then vanished into history. Her story is a storm of beauty, politics, betrayal, and tragedy. But the greatest mystery? Where is she now? Where is Cleopatra's tomb? Some say she lies under the waves of the Mediterranean Sea, her palace swallowed by the ocean. Others believe she sleeps in a hidden temple, far from Alexandria, untouched for centuries. And there are those who claim that her body was destroyed forever, to erase her from memory. Tonight, we go back in time, to the world of palaces and pyramids, of marble halls and burning ships, to uncover the life of Cleopatra, the fall of her kingdom, and the hunt for her final resting place. I was born, not in Cleopatra's time, but when I read her story, I feel as though I've walked the same marble floors she walked, heard the same echo of sandals against stone, smelled the same incense burning in the palace halls. Cleopatra VII. Philopator was born in 69 BC in Alexandria, the jewel of the Mediterranean. This was no simple city. It was the beating heart of Egyptian culture and a hub of Greek, Roman, and African worlds. Its library was the greatest the world had ever seen, its lighthouse one of the seven wonders. Cleopatra was no ordinary child of the Ptolemaic dynasty. The Ptolemies were Greek rulers, descendants of a general of Alexander the Great. They spoke Greek, ruled as pharaohs, and married within the family to keep bloodlines pure. From her earliest years, Cleopatra's life was surrounded by whispers of betrayal and murder. The palace was not a place for children. It was a battlefield without swords, where poison and politics were the weapons of choice. Yet she learned. She listened. She adapted. Ancient historian Plutarch tells us Cleopatra could speak as many as 7 languages: Greek, Egyptian, Hebrew, Aramaic, Median, and possibly Ethiopian tongues. She was the only member of her dynasty to actually learn the Egyptian language of her people. But make no mistake, power in Egypt was never a birthright. It had to be seized, defended, and fought for. When Cleopatra's father, Ptolemy IV, died, she was just 18 years old. She was crowned queen, but not alone. She had to share the throne with her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII. In the beginning, they ruled together, but trust between them quickly broke down. Advisors whispered in her brother's ear, and soon Cleopatra was driven out of Alexandria. Imagine it, the young queen, once surrounded by luxury, now in exile. And then, history shifted. In 48 BC, a Roman civil war brought the great Julius Caesar to Egypt. Cleopatra saw her chance. She needed Rome's power to reclaim her throne. Legend says she had herself rolled into a carpet, or possibly a linen sack, and smuggled into Caesar's private chambers. When the carpet was unfurled before the Roman general, there she was, confident, daring, unafraid. Caesar was captivated, not just by her beauty, but by her intelligence, her ambition, and her presence. The two formed both a political alliance and, as the world remembers, a love affair. With Caesar's support, Cleopatra returned to Alexandria in triumph. Her enemies were crushed. She ruled Egypt as a goddess, the living embodiment of Isis, mother of kings. She traveled the Nile with Caesar, showing him the temples, the wealth, the culture of Egypt. In 47 BC, she gave birth to a son, Caesarion, the son of Caesar and the hope of 2 empires. But fate is cruel. In 44 BC, Julius Caesar was assassinated in Rome. The news reached Cleopatra like a thunderclap. Her protector, her ally, was gone. Rome was in chaos. 2 men rose to power: Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir, and Mark Antony, his loyal general. In 41 BC, Cleopatra met Antony, and she made her entrance unforgettable. She sailed up the Cydnus River in a golden barge, its purple sails billowing, oars dipped in silver. Cleopatra herself was dressed as the goddess Aphrodite, reclining under a golden canopy, attended by servants dressed as cupids. Antony was overwhelmed. From that day, their destinies were bound together, in passion, politics, and war. They ruled the East like a king and queen from legend. But their love was a threat to Octavian, who saw them as rivals for Rome's power. The final blow came at the Battle of Actium in 31 BC. Octavian's fleet crushed Antony and Cleopatra's navy, their forces scattered. Back in Alexandria, Antony heard false news that Cleopatra was dead. Broken, he fell on his sword. When Cleopatra found him dying in her arms, the kingdom she had fought for was already lost. Octavian captured Alexandria. He planned to take Cleopatra to Rome, to parade her in chains as a conquered queen. But Cleopatra refused to be humiliated. On August 12, 30 BC, she ended her life. The Romans said she allowed a cobra, an asp, to bite her. Others believe she drank a deadly poison. Some even whisper that Octavian had her murdered. And then, the greatest mystery began. Plutarch wrote that Octavian allowed her to be buried with Antony in a royal and magnificent tomb. But no one alive today knows where that tomb is. The royal quarter of Alexandria, where she lived, now lies underwater, swallowed by earthquakes and waves over centuries. Some believe her tomb is forever lost beneath the Mediterranean, but others are not so sure. One archaeologist, Dr. Kathleen Martinez, believes Cleopatra's tomb lies in Taposiris Magna, a temple dedicated to the goddess Isis, west of Alexandria. She has spent over 18 years searching its dark chambers, finding coins, statues, and artifacts from Cleopatra's time. But the queen herself remains hidden. Other theories are more mysterious. Some say Cleopatra's body rests in a secret desert tomb far from the cities to protect it from looters. Others believe Octavian secretly destroyed her remains, ensuring she would never be honored as a queen again. And then there are whispers, just whispers, that her tomb may be beneath another ancient temple, or even under the waters near her palace, preserved in a chamber untouched by time. If her tomb is ever found, it could change history. We might discover what really happened in her final moments, and uncover treasures unseen for over 2 millennia. But perhaps this is Cleopatra's last act of defiance, that even the might of Rome could not erase her completely. Somewhere beneath the sands, in the shadow of a temple, or beneath the blue waves, Cleopatra waits, waiting for the day her story will rise again, and the last chapter